to the planet that you're looking at. It was actually established by two German astronomers, Wilhelm Beer and Johann Mabler, in 1832, and they were able to put the prime meridian of Mars along a sort of feature that was dark. It was later dubbed Sinus Meridian. But Giovanni Schiaparelli put the place names on it. And the place names are incredibly important because they fit into theurgy. They are what is called in modern times mystical toponymy. To have a name that means something and have it placed in space and time on a planet is incredibly a religious and scientific and a Gnostic sort of idea. We take it for granted now that we have place names all over the United States that are akin to ancient places in Rome and Paris and ancient Greece. But to have Cydonia marked perfectly over the prime meridian, right here, is what I like to draw your attention to, because a prime meridian is where it all starts. And Cydonia is the area where the anomalies, the artificial-looking structures, have appeared. In this picture, this would be north, and this would be south. Giovanni's using a reflecting telescope, so it's reversed and upside down. And you can also see, instead of like on the Earth, we have 180 degrees, and the international date line on the back of the globe. On Mars, it goes all the way around 360 degrees and then to zero again. Here's a closer picture of how well Cydonia was placed over the map. An astronomer would be the greatest philosopher 1,000 years ago or 2,000 years ago. Now we look at them as the greatest empiricists, the greatest scientists. They don't merge together any longer, and I think that's hamstrung our understanding of the UFO phenomena, and definitely will hamstring our understanding of Cydonia if we can't use the framework that they established already. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Schiaparelli also was an avid spiritist. He actually went to seances with his contemporaries, Camille Flammarion and Percival Lowell. And Camille Flammarion actually went on record as saying that anyone who says that spiritism and the supernatural do not exist speak as one who has no understanding. He knew it because he had actual experience with it, and he would take his empiricism and his scientific knowledge and actually qualify it and quantify it. And then he wrote a lot of books on it, and not just his encounters with the medium Eusebia Palermo, who lived in Milan at the time, with also Giovanni Schiaparelli, but also in his experiences in Japan. And later, Giovanni Schiaparelli actually wrote about astronomy in the New Testament and its mystical significance. So here's the theurgic connection to Earth. Cydonia is on the prime meridian of Mars. Let's look at the prime meridian of Earth. The prime meridian was actually established as a universal benchmark in 1844 by Allen Chester Arthur, 21st President of the United States, in Washington. And all the nations at that time gathered together in Washington and said that they would agree that that would be the place in Greenwich that they would establish the universal meridian, zero. As you can see, the center of time and space. This is a religious philosophy, even though now it's understood as just pure scientific, but it is a religious philosophy to mirror heaven on the earth and to anchor them this way. Without a prime meridian, we can't establish where we are on the globe. There has to be a fixed benchmark in heaven. Looking at it closer, the prime meridian goes through England, the island of Britain. And particularly in this area, we find some of the greatest megalithic sites in the world. And I'm drawing your attention to the megalithic sites of the world because these are the anomalous artificial structures on our Earth that stand out. They're enigmas still. In the Wiltshire area, we have the greatest earth mound in the world, the Silbury Hill. And north is the Avery Circle, which is the greatest Earth circle in the whole entire world. And this area, the surface features of this area have been contoured. The actual age of the structures is said to be 2600 BC, but they're built in certain stages. This is also the area where the majority of the crop circle phenomena occurs. This is the Silbury Hill, 520 feet across and 130 feet high. That flat mountain, the flat places you see at the top of it is about 100 feet across. There's been excavations down the center of it looking for burial chambers. There's been theories that it's a geodetic marker, that you can cite different spaces on the topography of Britain, but it really doesn't fit into any of these paradigms. This is Avery Circle. It's about 1,500 feet across. When it was first constructed, it was about 30 feet deep, the trench was, and the mound on the exterior rim was about 15 feet high. This gives you a little idea of the scale. There's gentlemen walking among the stones which are unhewn. Some of them are 20 to 30 tons and stand almost 12 feet high. And an artist's rendition of what it looked like when it was first constructed. Because it was constructed in the Bronze Age, he's clad these humans in goat skins, which I think is a little strange because it looks like a bulldozer went through to put the thing together. And I don't know how these guys could have moved 20-ton boulders in this geometric arrangement, or why they would waste all that time. They got a lot of goat hides to chew and cows to milk. And this is the thing. This is the Cydonia analog of what we're looking at Wiltshire. In 1991, a man named David S. Percy decided to take the ordnance map of the same area in England and shrink the Cydonia region down to approximately 1/14 of the size of what the England site was, so that you could superimpose the features. And this is actually a satellite picture of the Avery area. This is the Avery Circle here, and the causeway that goes out of it, and the Silbury Hill. This is the crater on Mars with the tetrahedral pyramid on it, and the mound, or the Tolus. These are some surface features that aren't mentioned in the map, but you can see the regularity that these features appear in both places. And this is a comparison of the Cydonia Tolus and its analog on the Avery Plain. You can see that there's actually a suggestion of the same features on the top, a sort of peripheral groove in the exterior. And when this is resolved more, you'll actually see a spiraling groove to the top of the structure. Well, this thing is about almost a mile across. This thing is only 520 feet across. And then, again, the Cydonia analogs to the Avery Circle, with the tetrahedral pyramid on its lip. And I call it a pyramid, but it isn't quite a regular pyramid. It looks almost organic. But the interesting thing about the Avery Circle is if you look at the old ordnance map, this area here actually records a three-sided pyramid. And you can see it here closer. Three regular sides right next to the top. This is a poor picture, but the reason I have it is because